Hey guys, today's video is about James Charles because he has decided to update us about his new makeup brand that is coming out. So I'm going to tell you guys about all of that in today's video. Subscribe with the bell icon for engagement because that really helps the channel. I also started posting drama content on TikTok if you guys want short form content. Some of the topics on there will never make it into a full channel video because they're just not big enough, but some of them are just summaries of main channel videos. So do that. Everything else will be in the description, my podcast, my book channel, my beauty channel. James Charles has been secretly, not secretly, teasing this makeup line that he has been planning for apparently years now. And here's the thing, I already did this video about why I think James Charles's makeup line is gonna flop. Flop in, obviously he's gonna do better than the old Sally from somewhere creating makeup line. Of course, his is gonna do better because even though he's disliked, he still has a wider audience, and that percentage of people, whether small or big, will still buy his makeup line. Obviously, if you have 10 million people that know who you are, even if 9.5 million of them hate you, that's still 500,000 people that would still support you. Does that make sense? I think even if you're widely hated on the internet, there are still gonna be some people that like you. Whereas if you're just a nobody somewhere, no one knows you, so no one either hates you or loves you. There's nothing there. Anyway, I still think his brand is gonna do okay. It's gonna do quite well, but I don't think it's going to be what it could have been. And that's basically what this video is about that I filmed. I think if he had launched his line probably 5 years ago, I'm saying, what year are we in now? 2022, and it's almost 2023. That feels shocking to me. I actually feel like we've been robbed of 2 or 3 years of our life because of COVID. Phoebe's looking for a toy. Loudly, dare I say. Okay, great. I'm glad you've picked yet another toy. There is nothing but toys all over my rug. She's just constantly picking one out, and they're also all destroyed. So we're in 2022 now. 5 years ago it would have been 2017. Okay, let's say 6 years ago, 2015 onwards. 2015 to 2018 would have been such a great time for him to launch his makeup line. He was selling out consistently of all Morphe makeup that he was recommending on his channel, and he was only making probably a 10 to 20% cut of that. I think that would have been a great time to launch his own makeup line. But I think James Charles genuinely, I'm gonna give you guys a summary of my past video. I think James Charles genuinely thought that he was invincible, that he was unstoppable, that he was uncancelable. And then when the Bye Sister stuff happened, he managed to kind of bring it back around with his No More Lies video. And then I think he thought that was it. He was he was invincible at that point. And I think more allegations started coming out, and it kind of started to bury him alive, essentially. And now that there are so many allegations that you just can't possibly disprove all of them. And he's done 2 apology videos now. One where he essentially admits that there are victims, and then the other one where he tries to backpedal on that. I just think now it's too late. We're 6 years too late to his makeup line. And yeah, like I said, he might have 10 million haters, but even if he has 500,000 people that are interested in him, that is 500,000 people that are potential customers, which not many people in this world can say that they have 500,000 people that could be potential customers for them. That is a great way to start a brand, but it's not the 10 million that used to love him in 2015. It's just not, because he used to consistently get 10 million views per video. Now he can't even crack 1 million, which I would love to get 1 million views per video, but I have 500,000 subs, not 10 million subs. There is a bit of a difference there. So now, about this makeup line. He's been talking about it on his Instagram stories for a while, doing polls, showing that his dog sat in his blush, yada, yada, yada. And he asked people what their favorite blushes were. So clearly he's he wants to release a makeup line. He wants it to be trendy and topical, but he has actually no idea how to do this in an interesting way. So he's just asking people, asking his audience, asking his potential customers to be hey, what do you want me to sell you guys? Is that a good place to be in when you want to start a makeup line, not actually knowing what you want from your makeup line? Because I feel there are so many people in the industry that had a vision, had an idea, and they just launched it and people loved it. They didn't have to ask oh, what do you guys want me to sell to you? What do you want to spend money on? There is enough of that as is. I've been in the beauty industry for a while. I've been consuming makeup for a while, not actively eating it, just buying it. And I've seen it all, and I don't think there's anything interesting to bring to the table. I'm just gonna say that much. So he's been asking what blushes do you guys like? So we can assume that he wanted to launch a blush, which blush is very topical right now. People love blush, but there is so much of it already. He posted on his Instagram stories that he's actually not sure what to do to make his brand interesting and to stand out. I'm gonna play that for you guys now.
The brand will be launching in the beginning of 2023, which means it's coming up soon. And one thing that's on my mind constantly is my launch strategy, which, to be honest, I do not have locked in yet. I have a couple of ideas, but I really wanted to ask you guys as the consumers and as the audience, what could a new brand do to grab your attention? What would be something that would make you stop in your tracks and make you be oh, what are they doing that's so cool? You know what I mean? Like, whether it's a photo shoot, whether it's some type of content, I'm open to hearing everything.
Which just proves my point that like he has nothing interesting to bring into the beauty industry. He's already had his chance. He had his shot when he had his makeup channel that was massive back in the day. Back then, he could have literally farted into a makeup palette and sold it and people would have bought it. Now, I think he's really going to have to do something so incredible that I just don't think he's capable of. I don't think James Charles was ever that creative. I think a lot of his creativity came from ideas that he took from other people, allegedly. I don't think he's ever been that creative and that much of a visionary that he could create something super interesting. But back then he didn't have to. He could just fart into a box and sell it. Now I think with how disliked he is, he really has to go above and beyond. And I don't think he has the capabilities for that. I'm not saying I do, but I'm not trying to start a makeup line, you know? So he's asking people and he said, you know, what can I do? And I think these days, organic growth is the way to go for a brand. I don't think sending your PR package to celebrities and YouTubers is gonna cut it anymore. Like I think now things go viral because someone will buy it. A regular old Sally, I'm using Sally today as the name. The Sally will just film a TikTok and it will blow up because people are like, oh my God, this is a person that actually spent money on this makeup. They're not a multi-millionaire. They value their time. They value their money. They value the collection that they have and they love this product and I'm gonna love it too. I don't think using influencers, PR, celebrities works anymore. Like I just don't think that's what works. And I think James Charles is still stuck in that like 2016 YouTube mindset. So I don't know what he can do to try and fix that. I don't know. And he's also so cancelled. He's so cancelled that I can't even, you know. He actually started a new TikTok page for like almost documenting the process of creating and developing a makeup line. But what it actually is just free labor. Like people are supposed to give him ideas and tips for his makeup line, which would be nice in essence, but I think he's like treating that as like the main concept for his makeup line is, oh my God, people are gonna give me ideas and I'm gonna make them happen. So this is TikTok about his first like batch from the lab.
Help me make a product for my makeup line. My first product is done and is launching in the beginning of 2023. Until then now, I wanted to get a head start on a bunch of other products. Instead of kind of making it a big secret, I wanted to take you behind the scenes and show you guys the lab samples that I've been working on and get your thoughts and feedback in real time so your opinions can actually affect the final product. One product that I would love to get your guys' feedback on is blush. I posted a poll on my Instagram stories a couple of months ago asking people if they liked cream, liquid, or powder blushes best. And I was pretty surprised that powder and cream actually won by a landslide. So I designed a mock-up in Photoshop of what I wanted the blush packaging to look like, as well as a bunch of different colors, and I sent it over to the lab. A couple of weeks later, I received this back in the mail. As you can see, a couple came cracked, and I don't mind showing you guys these either because unfortunately, the lab did not do the best of jobs at bringing the colors I designed to life. This is just really the first round. We're gonna try it out and see how the actual formula is because that's really the most important part. Starting off with the cream formula first. I'm gonna dip into this like little peachy girly right up top and see how this one works. Definitely not as pigmented as I would like it to be. For me personally, I prefer a little bit more pigmented than this, but obviously not like crazy. It's not giving, it's not. Let me try a more vibrant color. Let me do like this kind of strawberry color down here. Oh, see, now that's a little too pigmented, I think. Okay, let's go ahead and set it in place and try the powders. When it comes to the packaging, originally I envisioned these being duos where it's like one component, but you get a cream and a powder formula in the same little thing. But I've recently been thinking like so many brands have released blush duos already. And by the time that this launches, will cream blush even like be a trend anymore? Will we be on to like gel blush, spray blush? Ooh, no. But you know what I mean. So do we want blush duos? Do we want cheaper singles? Do we want a palette? I could even do a palette, 4 creams, 4 powders, 8 powders, 8 creams. I don't know. Enough talking. Let's try this powder formula. Let me try this like little bubblegummy pink one down here because this one's pretty. That is not giving. Is it? No, it's looking a little dry, which I do not like. Let me try the little peachy color that we have because this one is really pretty. Oh, you really need to layer this up to get any pigment. Sorry about that. I had to take a quick pause to watch Dream's face reveal, but I am back to the blush. I do love the idea of the buildable formula, but I feel like asking customers to layer something up 5 or 6 times is a little bit too much. So I'm gonna write down all my thoughts to send over to the lab for the next round of samples. And I think that's all of my notes, but I wanna hear your notes. I wanna hear all of your thoughts so I can make the best product for you. See you soon. Hold on, pause. You know what I just realized? Putting the cream back over top of the powder blush when you have it already sat down is... Oh, bitch, that's eating.
It's so uninspired. So I'm just gonna go through it because I already went through it on TikTok. So there are 2 shades that could work for like medium to deep skin tones, and one of them is a red. Like I think I'm so sick of seeing people create blushes and then for deep skin tones, they'll always just do a red because they're like, that is easy. I can make red deep. How about a nice like fuchsia, a nice hot pink, something that is different. Like I've seen so many blush lines where literally it will be nothing but like pinks, oranges, corals, yeah. And then they're like, oh, dark skin tones, red. It's so uninspired. It's so boring. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I want to see a pink. I want to see a coral. I want to see all these shades, but for deeper skin tones. I want to see the blush be pigmented enough where you can create a pink, a coral, an orange that will work for deep skin tones. I don't know. Am I asking for too much? Am I asking for too much? I want to know. Yeah, the top line. I actually remember what the palette looks like. That is how much I've talked about this on my TikTok. When you have the blushes, the top two on the right are basically the Dior blushes and the Kylie blushes. So the first one is either Kylie Winter Kiss or the Dior pink one that everyone raved about on TikTok. The one next to it is Kylie Pink Power, which also has been raved about on TikTok. Then we have two corals, Revolutionary. He's releasing this line in spring 2023. Corals and pinks and oranges for spring. You've wowed me. You've wowed me. Thank you. Then we have oranges, which also Dior, someone in my comments on TikTok said that Dior also went viral for having an orange blush. Revolutionary. You just tell me that you've been on TikTok. Tell me that your For You page is full of makeup, because that's what this blush palette looks like. You've just been on TikTok. And then we have the like reddish shades for medium to deep skin tones. Wow. You have wowed me. And now he's saying like, oh, these aren't the final product. Of course not, but your ideas aren't revolutionary. They're not anything crazy. And I sound so mean today. I don't know why I sound so mean. I just think this is so boring. It's also like 6 years too late. He's so cancelled. I don't want people to forget about the fact that he's so cancelled, and so rightfully so. So rightfully so. Also, he is doing, I think he said that in the poll, cream blushes and powder blushes won by landslide. So he's doing cream and powder. I hope he does the shades, like both of them, in cream and... that made no sense. I hope every single blush shade that he has comes in both cream and powder. That would be quite revolutionary, because if he's only doing some in cream and some in powder, then that limits the skin tones that could use, because you could be a dark skin tone that loves the red shade, but you want it in a powder, but if he's only releasing in a cream, but then he's releasing the light skins in a, do you know what I mean? Like, I hope he does, if he's actually launching this, like in a powder and a cream, but I don't know. And he's, you know, saying this is just the first launch, yeah, some of them cracked. I just think it's crazy that someone with 10 million subs has only 120,000 followers on this account where he's documenting his makeup line. That in itself, like 120k is a great amount of followers, but not for James Charles. So that first of all shows me the lack of excitement for this line. Two, the fact that he's getting most of his ideas for the line from doing polls on Instagram and TikTok videos. Shows me he has zero clue what he's doing. He's asking for marketing tips as well. At this point, like, has he hired a marketing team? Has he hired a design team? Like, I don't know. Does he have anyone working on this other than his TikTok audience? Anyway, that's me on the James Charles makeup line. Let me know what you guys think. Am I being too harsh? I don't know. Subscribe to the bell, like, comment for engagement, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.